With the release of Season 2 of the superhero shows The Boys coming out on Amazon Prime, let's talk about Season 1. Let me preface this by saying I will review Season 2 when the season is completed, so I'm not going to review episode by episode. This video will split with non-spoilers, then spoilers. The best way to describe the show is, what if the Justice League were set in the real world, being owned by a company? They would be complete assholes. This is a great way to deconstruct the superhero genre. I'm in the process of reading the comic series written by Garth Ennis, and there are definitely some changes from the book. However, I will just be talking about the show itself. The show takes focus on two separate teams. There's the superpowered team, the Seven, which consists of Homelander, Queen Maeve, A-Train, Black Noir, who is a mute ninja, Translucent, a being with diamond-hard skin that can become invisible, the Deep, and newcomer Starlight. The other team is the vigilante group, the Boys, which consist of Billy Butcher, Huey Campbell, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and the Female. There is a mix of dark humor mixed with superheroes, the popularity of superheroes, business corporations, the politics and social media that comes from it. I feel like it's a show that is about human beings that features superheroes. It makes me think of Watchmen, although there are differences as well. I can say that if gore or animal deaths aren't your thing, you might want to set this one out, because it gives a sense of what might actually happen if the Flash runs into you, or if Superman were to use his laser eyes on anyone. This is a show that ties all of that while also stay, which I can say is relevant at the same time. Here's Season 1. This is the spoiler section. I am assuming that you have watched Season 1. If not, watch another video, preferably one of mine. It is only 8 episodes if you choose to come back. Butcher, played by Carl Urban, recruits Huey, played by Jack Quaid, after A-Train ran through his girlfriend. Butcher explains to Huey that the reason why the public does not know about this side of the Seven is because Vought bribes, intimidates, or even kills to keep their secret of corruption from the public. I like how there were parallels with Huey with the Boys and Starlight, played by Erin Moriarty, with the Seven. Huey was a huge fanboy of superheroes, A-Train being his favorite, before his girlfriend was killed by him. And for the first time in his life, he wants to stand up and take a risk in avenging his girlfriend's death. Starlight was the small-town girl that was training to be a member of the Seven her whole life, and she thought it would all be about saving people and helping mankind and all of that, and the first thing she's asked to do is to give top to the Deep. She also learns a lot of the humble origins and the media that shows how good these heroes are, preaching faith on God and superheroes, are just scripted by Vought, and they don't even feel that way towards humanity. The Boys have to constantly adapt and improvise as they are humans going against some of the most powerful beings. There are some great moments in which fans go up to former superheroes and they hover their hands to avoid any confrontation in the future, or having ethnically diverse heroes in certain cities as they are well received there with the local demographic. We do get the understanding of Huey and Starlight as they are the point of view characters. The others are already established, and we get to learn more about them, and they have their own personal arcs that has nuance. This is Carl Urban's best role as Billy Butcher. He is the leader of the Boys that is a hardened badass that is out for revenge. But you get a moment of sensitivity when you understand that Butcher's hatred on superheroes came from the fact that he believes that Homelander raped his wife and caused her to disappear. Frenchie, played by Tomer Capone, is a man with many skills, as he believes it is important to be good at many things in order to survive in life. We learn that he was a killer for hire and that all the faces of those he killed stays with him like scars. Mother's Milk's main frustration with Frenchie is the fact that he is very impulsive when it comes to decision making. I always found this exchange hilarious.
You give the game away! Not until this frog gets what's coming.
The only thing that is coming is me and your mother tennis!
Frenchie is able to find his humanity again when he discovers the female, Kimiko, as he is the only one that can get through to her. Mother's Milk, played by Laz Alonso, is someone who has a wife and daughter, and is someone who wants to keep them safe. Butcher respects Mother's Milk as he is the one with the methodical mind. The Female, played by Karen Fukuhara, was a member of a terrorist group forced into it after they killed her parents. She's captured and experimented with Compound V, which gave her powers and made her a mute. We will get to the reasoning in a minute. This makes her the only member in the Boys that has superpowers. Queen Maeve, played by Dominique McElligott, is emotionally confused as she is being manipulated by Homelander and Vought, especially after the plane scene that I will get back to. This causes her to question her purpose, which causes her to drink in depression. Elizabeth Shue plays Stillwell, who is the head of Vought Enterprises. She's the smiling businesswoman who has her own control of the Seven. She gets depth as a character to balance all the issues with the super beings, and also having to take care of her child. A-Train, played by Jesse T. Usher, is the fastest man in the world. He has a fear that someone might take that spot because it would mean that he would be out of the 7. This causes him to be addicted to Compound V. I thought he was the weakest actor in the bunch. His story is very interesting, but I was not able to buy his scenes like I did with the other characters, especially his relationship with Popclaw or his brother. He was pretty funny though. Whenever he had a comedic scene of some sort, he was really funny. The Make-A-Wish scene was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, maybe he can swing by next week or something.
The Deep, played by Chance Crawford, is pretty much the loser of the 7. Basically what people think Aquaman is to the Justice League, which is far from the truth. After forcing his way with Starlight, and Starlight reveals that she was sexually assaulted, Vought sends him to Sandusky, Ohio to protect their brand. There were some funny moments where he tries to save a dolphin or a lobster, but he ends up getting them killed. There was a nasty scene of him getting his gills fingered.
Yeah.
He learns that Vought pretty much used the Starlight situation as an excuse to get rid of him from the 7. The best character in the show is Homelander, played by Anthony Starr. He just has a presence in the show that you have no idea what he's going to do. He can be charismatic and then terrifying in the same shot. To the public, he tries to be a Superman-like figure with the symbol of truth, justice, and the American way, but he can go off when something doesn't go his way. When we learn what his childhood was like and how it shaped him to be the sociopath that he is, you wonder what it would have been like if he were brought up differently. Vought is trying to get the 7 to serve in the military so that they can have a better influence over the rest of the world. We learn through Mesmer, a super that can read your thoughts through skin interaction by touching the female, that Vought is putting Compound V in babies. So the whole shtick of superheroes being chosen by God is a lie. Every super was pumped with Compound V as a baby. You get this diabolical scene with a baby with heat vision.
Hey. Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
We also learn that Homelander put Compound V in terrorists around the world because he believed there is no challenge in the world by stopping regular human criminals, so why not create supervillains instead? One of my favorite moments in the show is when Homelander and Queen Maeve go onto Flight 37, and they kill the terrorist, which accidentally ruins the plane as well. Instead of having my favorite moment in Superman Returns, where he saves the plane, Homelander just says that the physics would not work. He tries to calm everyone down until the passengers realize his bullshit. Queen Maeve desperately tries to get him to save just 2 people, but no witnesses. Queen Maeve has to listen to 123 passengers screaming and crying for their help, which puts her in depression for the rest of the season, while Homelander uses this opportunity to get more votes for the superheroes in the military. The last episode has a lot of action going on. A-Train versus Starlight until A-Train gets a heart attack. Butcher captures Stillwell and he straps her to explosives and waits for Homelander to show up. Homelander knew about Butcher's wife, Becca, and what happened to her. As he tells Stillwell about it, she reveals that she is terrified of Homelander, which makes him happy, and he lasers her eyes. Butcher detonates the bomb, and Homelander saves him and places him on a front lawn. It turns out that Becca was not killed by Homelander, and that she was not raped by him, as she lives with a son that turns out to be Homelander's kid. This is a huge change from the book, so I'm interested to see how they tackle the son who is a product of someone that Butcher loves, and of someone that Butcher despises. Each character and narrative story beat serves as an excellent way to balance of what we expect in a superhero show, but understand character and drives and motivations and what makes them who they are, also mixed with a dark sense of humor. There are other moments like the Share Circle where Butcher hates the fact that even when superheroes cause damage to people, physically or mentally, they would still suck up to them. Or Annie and Huey just talking about the stresses of their new jobs. Or even Butcher comparing the team to the Spice Girls. Gus from Breaking Bad had a little cameo here, and it looks like he'll have a bigger role next season, and I'm all for it. Episode 5 is the only episode I'm really iffy on, as it was all about preaching. Although they always stayed in character. Like when Homelander baptized Huey, I was actually concerned that he discovered who he really was. Last thing to add, the landlord. What a way to go. If you have seen The Boys Season 1, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like opinions and reviews on movies, comics, TV shows, and video games, like the video and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell for notifications for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Peace.